It seems like drones will sometimes just go by if they don't actually see you. Let's reset this stuff up down here. Alright, let me try to organize things the way that I normally like. Helps me keep track. We got iron, copper, cobalt, silicon, magnesium, which is already converted, promethium. I haven't picked up any blank crushed rock yet. I could get some here tonight by mining sideways into the regular ground a bit. That is useful for being able to make concrete and some other things. Oh boy, I got a whole bunch of the basic resources from those drones I shot down. Let's organize that stuff up here too. I would put, let's see, plates, metal pieces, control devices, electronics, and these, and these. Do I not have any metal components yet? Doesn't look like. Yes, I do. And pipes, and computers, motors, capacitors. That's an amazing. Actually, these take quite a few of the lower resources to make. There's this stuff here from steel plate through metal components. These just take raw ingots, but then this next tier of components all require these tiers. So like you make a bunch of these, then when you start making these, you use a bunch of those. That's a nice find. That's going to get me like a couple of my key building components a lot faster. Like reactor and so forth, because it requires the reactor core and these motors and stuff. Now let's start out just a little bit of each resource before I knock out each one mass all the way till its end. Just do like about 30 each here to start. And I guess while that's going on, I'm going to do what I said. I'm going to mine sideways a little here. See if I can get some crushed stone, make a little hidey hole, just in case things go south. I'm sorry for how dark it is. It will be daytime in like, I don't know, 7.5 minutes or whatever it says there. Oh, there we go. I have now used my last biofuel, so what I have left in my drill right now is all I can do until I gather more seaweed. Again, though, thankfully I did find all the basic resources, so it's not really a critical problem. But in my next daytime, I'm going to want to find a lake and gather seaweed. It gets really freaking dark in this game, I'll tell you. Okay. Oh, I queued up way too many of these now that I think about it. I wanted to just do a little. I forgot that each of these gives like a bigger output of them. That was going to be hundreds of ingots. Put some of this stuff away so I don't use it. These I don't want to use. These are useful for other things later. I do want to continue eating these space oranges. This alien plasma is for med kits. This is also for med kits. I do need to make more power packs. Let's queue up a few right away. And more bullets. Alright, I think that's a really strong first day start. Let's see now, Napago. Well, about this stuff. Okay, thank you, Nip. I'm sorry if I didn't say this soon enough if you already left, but I appreciate you popping in. Good to see you. Again, I think we're off to a really good first day start here. These same principles could be applied on hard just as easily, except that on hard, I would be much lower level. My crafting would be slower. I'd probably have seen more drones. They'd have been harder to kill. So it would be a little more challenging in that regard, but it's the same principle. You want to get your oxygen generator down right away and start producing oxygen, and get out exploring with your motorcycle and find your resources. And you really need all 6 to build a base, and you can't really advance yourself until you can build a base. Like, all I can do is make bullets. I can't I think I could make an assault rifle as well, but you know, I can't really start to really take care of my food and water and air needs and so forth until I can build a base. So yes, thank you, Southern Rebel. I do know that. I had originally queued them up, like by doing that way. I queued up like 30 of each, so I do know about that. Thank you. So again, I might as well just I do need some crushed stone. I'm going to just continue to mine around a little bit and wait for that to finish. I am sorry, this is part of how survival games work. It's a little grindy while you're waiting for things to get done. I could have headed out on my motorcycle and explored, but it's treacherous in the dark, and I still have to come back. I had to put this down and let it do some work for a while in order to advance myself. Yes, I do know about the skill tree. That's thank you for bringing that up, actually, because that's something I can work on right now in the meantime, while I wait for this to finish. So, first of all, under weapons, I'm going to unlock the assault rifle right away. I've never actually used the sniper rifle recently. It's been a long time. I think I'll unlock that too. And let's see, tools. I do want to unlock the multi-tool and the filler and flattener tool for when I start my base. These can wait a little bit. And I want to do the work light so I can get these outdoor work lights. Those are probably the finest lights I can get early on. Miscellaneous, I'm going to want the cargo box and the oxygen generator. Again, I can't build this yet until I actually make a base. You need a large constructor. I'm going to unlock the small ammo box as well. And then their base stuff, we're going to want an O2 station. And a turret. And a fridge. I could probably do a lot more than this though. I'm just trying to be frugal to start with here. So again, let's see. I can't really start to grow plants until I have any seeds, but there are certain things on this planet that I can grow right away. Then I know where I can get the seeds from, so I will go ahead and unlock. I have enough points to spare. I don't think I'll need an elevator or a small minigun just yet, or the hangar or shutter doors. I'll get those as I need them. Looking again at the miscellaneous stuff, the only thing I don't have is this flare. I'm not really sure what it's used for. Hover vessel, I'm probably going to bypass hover vessels for small vessels. Since these are cheap, I'll just go ahead and unlock these right away. I'll unlock all the weapons right away. Alright, so again, there's a number of things like this you can access. Most of them are on function keys, but you can see them from your character screen here. That was on your inventory window, the tech trees page. That's where I was working on in there. Factions is where you can set up a faction, or if you're playing PvP and so forth. The PDA is like your help log. Right now it's up to telling me to kill a mutant animal. I'll be completing these as I can. They're not really critical though. Blueprints is like Space Engineers. You can create blueprints of things you make. I also have a bunch I've downloaded from the workshop here. There's some that are custom made by fans. There's some that are like built in with the game, for example. If I go to small vehicles here, this is a good, cheap and easy small vehicle to make that shows me the numbers here. So as you can see, I wouldn't even have enough resources to make this right now, just on what I've gathered so far, and I still have to make a base first. But if you wanted to start making that, you can go to factory like this, and then it becomes something that's constructing in the background, and you can add the resources as you go, and then when it's done, you can spawn it. Okay, I wasn't paying attention when I just heard that sound. There is a drone hovering around above me. So let me be safe and tuck myself under here just in case while I continue going over this stuff. And then finally the marketplace. This doesn't actually come into play until later. I was talking about how this game you start in one planet and can you go explore. If I go from here to the solar system view, I've started here on Omicron, and then Aqua is right next door. And there's another planet here called Ningus, I'm not sure. And a trading outpost, and then there's other things that you can work your way towards. You need a capital vessel to warp around to these further locations. I'll be stuck on this first planet for a little while until I actually get a base and make a capital vessel, actually, for any long-term exploration. A small vessel will at least get me to the moon. Well, I guess I might have been mistaken about people wanting to watch this game, which is unfortunate. Maybe I'm just a boring asshole. I forgot to power that. That's not good. Alright, so yeah, I got some basic ingots. That's what I said I wanted to have, the least to start. So that's not bad. That is enough to start a minimal base. There's so much crafting to do. In this early phase, this survival constructor, you have to manually queue up. Like, if I wanted to make... I have enough stuff on hand now to make some of these, like a large constructor. But if I didn't have, if you look here where it shows computer, control devices, etc. With this constructor, I have to queue them all up manually. When I get the large constructor made, I could just queue up something and it will automatically queue up all the key components. So, another reason to get off of... get onto a base as soon as possible. So to do that, the first thing I will need is a core and a base starter. And I'm not sure if I have enough stuff for all these things. I'm going to try. We'll need a fuel tank and a generator and a large constructor. We'll see if we can make all these things. If so, and I'll also need some blocks. Let's make up a bunch of steel blocks. Now, if this will all construct, if I don't have to make any other sub-items to finish them, I'll be ready to start building a base. Oh, I forgot I could go ahead and make the assault rifle right away. I'll queue that up. As well as, I don't know, however many bullets that is. I think that's like 250 total. I don't need to make these yet. I do need to start making... So I have to get some seaweed for sure in the next day if I want to do any more mining. I can't make a tier 2 drill until I have the... a lot more than just the constructor. I need like a high-tech CPU, which is made from neodymium ore, which is not available on this planet by default. If I fight a ore golem, it might drop some, but otherwise I have to fly to the moon to get that. So again, I apologize. You know, I just have to wait for this stuff to finish, and there's no reason for me to be out doing anything. It's a little dangerous out there in the dark. I mean, let me take a look and see. Maybe there's some things I can harvest in the immediate area at least while I'm waiting for the stuff to finish building. Again, those are all very useful. You can eat these cacti. These are good for med kits later. These are good for bandages early on, as well as med kits. Aloe vera is your main healing. And you can plant those and regrow them in your base. Once I get a food processor, I can convert them to seeds, some of them, and start planting some. I guess I will continue to forage here while I wait for that stuff to finish building in the constructor. Gonna need it in the long run. Although I'd prefer to hunt animals for cooked meat. Seems like I've never gotten food poisoning from making meat as opposed to eating these oranges or raw foods. You can see the moon in the sky there. Or is that Aqua? I forget. The moon's much bigger. Yeah, there's the moon. It's massive in the sky because it's very close. That's one thing I'd like to see them change in this game that I think Space Engineers does better. Everything's very cramped. Like, you take off from the planet in an SV and you'll be in space in like 15 seconds and then you'll be to that moon in like 30 seconds. It's ridiculous. Like, a little, you know, Space Engineers does it worse. Like, You take off from the starting planet in the star system to go to the moon, it's like a 30-minute flight to get to the moon. So that's a little too much, but somewhere in between might be a good thing. I want to keep some bandages. Waiting for these bolts to finish. I think I'm going to go ahead and stop. Let just a few of those go through. Okay, I'm full up on food. We're getting some oxygen production because I'm going to need that. So I guess the only question is going to be where to build. I mean, I could, as long as that stuff all constructs, I could start building right away tomorrow. Again, I'd like to build near a large lake so I could do seaweed farming. But also wanting to keep in mind the resource distribution. All of the iron I found and cobalt is way over here so far. But the copper is like, and promethium way over here, although these are closer ones. So this is copper, promethium, okay. Copper, promethium, magnesium. This is the silicon. So I guess anywhere around where I'm at is pretty centrally located. This lake might be a good place. It's fairly large. I kind of like to build my bases by tunneling into the hillside on the lake and building it underground. So I could conceivably build a base into this hillside, and it'd be very close to this iron, magnesium, and cobalt, and still in shooting range of the promethium and silicon and stuff over here. That's probably where it'd be the best place to go. Unfortunately, it's going to make it longer for me for daytime, because the day is creeping around now. It's going to be daylight here in about 2.5 minutes. However, if I started traveling west, it would change that time. Like, I'll have to wait for it for the sun to be well overhead before I can move over here and have it still be light out. So, I don't know. We'll figure this out. How's the construction going here? I want to make sure that these things all finish. I got plenty of ammo now, so I can certainly fight more drones. So, you need a base starter. You need starters for anything. Hover vehicle, capital vehicle. I can only make a base starter with this particular constructing unit. But in order to make that, you need a core. And then you can make the base starter. So that's what I did first. Then I'm going to need, I can see already, I'm going to be short metal components to complete these two. So hold on, let's take this stuff off, and I'll make the assault rifle first, and then I'll make more base components. Assault rifle, 10 bullets. Again, I have to make these components manually, so I'm queuing up a bunch more of these because I'll need those in order to make, right now, metal components are what I'm short, but I'm sure I'll run out of some of the other stuff as well making these. Really only need the constructor and the fuel tank and small generator to get started. I'll want to have these for my base, but I can make these at the large constructor once the base is actually online. Again, just producing oxygen at about the same rate I'm using it. Got the assault rifle coming up. Doesn't look like I can make the sniper rifle yet. I think you need to make that in the advanced constructor, but at least I have the assault rifle now. I feel pretty confident this will be enough that I can queue up again the generator and the large constructor. It's showing red right now, but by the time all this stuff finishes, that should be enough to get them done. And the sun's coming up. This is the assault rifle, full zoom. I do have to kill some animals for an objective. If there's any wandering around out here, I could probably take them out. There's some cactus I can pick up. Let's continue to scavenge, I guess, for now. No enemies in sight yet. So we get the sun starting to come up. You can see how you can beat the sun. If I just travel a little bit to the east here, it'll be pretty much nice dawn effect. I travel back towards where my stuff is encamped and it'll be dark. But she's starting to come up, the sun. Careful. Whoops. Okay. Thought I heard something. Alright, we're getting there. I would sure like more bullets than that for this gun. I need more metal pieces. I have some queued up, right? I should make even more than that, though. Those are very valuable. We'll change that one up to 50. This is the thing about any survival game. You know, they're grindy. You've got to, like... I see I've lost almost everyone who was watching, and I'm not really surprised. There's just not much to do in this early phase of the game until you have the components you need. I hoped I could make this interesting, but apparently I have not. I don't have to let this construction finishing here. I could be traveling. Again, though, I think I'm going to build my base over here. And so even though the sun is now coming up, I need to wait a little longer for it to be bright over there. So I'm actually going to use this opportunity to get a cup of coffee real quick. And hopefully in a minute or two, we'll be able to move on to start building. Apparently people don't like Empyrion much or find it boring. So I think I maybe should have done Space Engineers instead. I've had an itch for that lately as well. There's just tons of aloe vera out there. I should probably gather that up. No sense in hopping on the motorcycle on and off every 2 feet. Stuff's all over the place right here. And another level up. Just cranking the levels. If I was playing on hard, I'd only be like level 4 at most right now. Oh, I hear something. Nice. Unfortunately, there's 4 of them. I'll have to kill them all because they'll all attack me at the same time. But I'll show you the. This is kind of a waste of bullets, but I'll show you the assault rifle. Finish this guy off with the pistol. Ooh, he almost got a bite of me. You don't want to let that happen, especially if you're playing on hard, because bites, food poisoning, all forms of poisoning are really bad for you when you don't have the ability to make any kind of med kits or anything. So you don't want that. Alright, my next PDA objective is to cook some of this meat, and I want to do that anyway. I'm going to cook all of it into salami, because it has a long perish time. And I do want to make more assault rifle bullets.